The difference is they sell an intangible and they don't sell a commodity. Let me give you an example. I used to do work with a company called Grunstein. They sell security screen doors. They ran, in my opinion, one of the best ads I've ever heard on radio years ago that said, imagine how you'd feel if somebody broke into your house and hurt the people you love the most. Grunstein, best security doors in Australia. What are they selling? What's the intangible they're selling? Talk to me. Security. No, the opposite. They're not selling security. It's the opposite of security. What are they selling? Fear. Of course they're selling fear. They can make much more money selling fear than they can flogging screen doors, right? We had the experience when our kids were young, we were going to go overseas, leave them with nanny for a couple of weeks while we travelled. About 6 weeks before we travelled, someone actually broke into our bedroom and stole cash, and we're not going overseas until we got security screen doors on the house to make sure the kids are safe, right? So when we're buying them from the salesperson, he says to us, you know, when someone has their house broken into, that's the best thing that could ever happen to us, right? No one haggles about price. All they want is the safety of their family, easier sale. Well, CrimSafe worked out the next best thing, and that's to make them worry about it. Plant that fear in their mind, and you will get them there non-price sensitive, because fear is an intangible, whereas security screen doors are a commodity. If you take a similar industry, the blinds and awnings industry is a no-profit industry, right? 60% off Cresta, 80% off Apollo. They've been doing this for years, right? Who can do the cheapest thing there, right? If you think about it, the cost of goods sold is not hugely different, you know, but that's one industry that makes absolutely no money, yet CrimSafe and the security industry is making a bloody fortune selling the same thing with a different marketing emphasis, purely selling the value-added services rather than the core product commoditised. I did quite a bit of work in the aged care industry. What is the expensive nursing home selling to not the resident, but the children of the resident who are putting mum or dad in the home, knowing that mum's upkeep's coming out of their future inheritance, right? What's the expensive nursing home selling? What's the intangible they're selling? Again, like security, it's almost the exact opposite of that. Do you know what I mean? Think about this from there, all right? Think about it. Remember, the target market is the children, right, who may have power of attorney in making decisions, you know, on that family there. What's the intangible they're selling to the children to make them spend more on mum than they had considered? What's the emotion? What's the intangible? Guilt, absolutely. They're in the guilt business. After all she's done for you. Do you know what I mean? Why would you be selling a room in a nursing home, which is a commodity, when you can sell guilt, which is really much harder to put a value on in the marketplace? I have a mate of mine who's now a retired wedding photographer, makes a fortune, charged 50 to 80% more than any other photographer in Sydney. This was his strategy. He gives the proposal to the father of the bride, knowing that wife and daughter are on either side of him. The guy opens the quote and his jaw drops when he finds out how much it's going to cost to have bloody photos at the wedding, right? My mate looks him straight in the eye, knowing that his wife and daughter are focused totally on him, and says, do you love your daughter enough to have the best of everything on the most important day of her life? 90% conversion rate, because he can make much more money selling guilt than he can selling photographs out there in the marketplace, because that's an intangible, right? Interestingly enough, when the whole industry went digital and all the costs plummeted, a lot of photographers dropped their prices to reflect that. He never dropped his prices because he was selling guilt, which never goes out of style. He just made more margin, you know, around there. What does the cosmetics industry sell to women? Now, they sell it to men as well. They just happen to sell it better to women. What's the intangible the cosmetics industry sells to women? Hope, yeah, hope. Sorry, say again? Well, it is. That's exactly that. But it's selling hope. Do you know what I mean? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry based on irrational hope, right? That's why. But that's what. The little tub of goo that costs $200 sells better than the little tub of goo that costs $20, because when you pay $200, there's a lot more hope you're going to look like the celebrity you're never going to look like, right? That's how it works out there, right? It's got an industry, it's got nothing to do with cost of goods sold, right? But it's an extremely lucrative industry, because you can make much more money selling hope than you can selling a commodity. And you know what? There is no reason there has to be any relationship between the cost of goods sold and the price you charge in the marketplace. If you can make 700% margin, if the market will bear it, then go for it, you know, around there. And where is the law that we have to be selling cost plus on insurance policies, you know, around there? And if the blokes are laughing at the women, the golf industry is exactly the same, right? It's a multi-billion-dollar industry based on irrational hope, right? 75-year-old bloke who can't hit the ball 100 yards, pays $7 for a Nike golf ball under the illusion he'll play law like Rory McIlroy or Tiger Woods. What a load of rubbish, right? They can make much more money selling hope than they can selling, a basic commodity in the marketplace. Well, now we come to the $64,000 question. What are you guys selling?